Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to another video, Alexander Investment Insights. We're going to be going over a lot of stocks today, like what happened today with the S&P 500. We'll go over QQQ, the play that we did. We'll go over AMD and stocks like Google and Apple and Tesla, how Tesla's going to work out in the next few days, and Nvda, and a lot of other stocks like Dell and Disney, and just a lot of other stocks, right? So let's just go straight into the video and we'll look at what the S&P 500 did today. As always, kind of a crazy day on the S&P 500. So we started off today, we started going down to our support here, found support at 537.35, and then we boomed to the upside and we found resistance here, and then we came all the way right back to the downside where SPY found support at 7:15 this morning Western time. So we go down to the 1 minute chart. You can see that, like we said here, we went down, opened up around 541.50, went down, hit our support, boomed all the way back up, and then came all the way back down again, right? We'll look at it one more time. All the way up, or down, all the way up, and then all the way down back again. So our support at 537.35 is a support right now, because you see back here, this is like a gap that we need to fill. And another support, if we keep heading down, we have a gap to fill here at 535.45. So watch these two supports at 537.35 and 535.45. I do have a new resistance at 550.25, just in case we start heading back up. We could hit this resistance here, and then we'll see how that reacts. So just have these levels on your chart. We are officially bearish now. You want to keep that in the back of your mind. We are bearish. We could have some up movements, to our resistances before we keep heading back down. We might start bouncing around these support and resistances, but I am bearish now. We are in the 530 range, which is very important to note that we are heading down very quickly. Very quickly. So just kind of, you might want to expect a little bit of upside before we start hitting down again, but these supports and resistances are going to be crucial. There's like another resistance here at 542.30, but not really holding all that much, right? We already broke that today at 542.30. So if we go down here, actually, we'll see where that is. You see how kind of use that as a resistance and then support 532.30, and then broke it again. And yeah, that's where we are on SPY 500. So make sure you're watching this every single day on your market. It's going to be extremely helpful. We did get a put play on QQ, and if you actually watched my last video, my trade recap, you see how we did that. Somewhere in here to the downside, trading to our support. We got like a nice 10% gain on QQQ this morning, so that was really nice. And let's go to SQQQ as well. Or actually, we'll update our levels for QQQ. So QQQ, I now have support at 455, and I have resistance at 470. Very crucial, these two levels. We're going to want to see how price reacts to these two levels. We'll go to SQQQ. Once again, the inverse of QQQ. When the market is bearish, this is the stock that will be going up. So it broke our resistance at 914, so we will have to move this now, and it is at our next resistance at 953. So 953, where it currently sits, is our resistance. So if we have some like pull down here tomorrow, that's kind of expected a little bit. We're not gonna keep, we could keep booming down on S&P 500, but if we had pull down on SQQQ and it's a green day on SPY 500, it's kind of as expected. So make sure you have this 842 level on SQQQ and this 953 level on SQQQ, so you get a better sentiment of where we're going to go overall in the market. We'll go to IWM. IWM hitting our resistance of 224.50 almost perfectly today. Missed about like 40 cents. Then we still have support down here at 214.75, so I would just be watching out for those two levels just in case we start heading down on IWM as well. The IA shares Russell 2000 ETF. We'll go to Bitcoin, see what Bitcoin today. You see how Bitcoin tried to drop below our support of 65,100, but just went right back up to it. That means that support is working pretty good, actually. It held this other support down here at 63,200, which is nice. So these two supports of 65,100 and 63,100 are working very well. Just in case this support breaks down here of 63,000, we could be heading down to that 56,500 area. But once again, everybody knows we're not going to boom on the crypto market until 17,100 level breaks. All right, let's go to Apple. Apple, we still have our resistance at $222.75 and our support at $213. Pretty basic. We'll go to Microsoft. Microsoft breaking our support of $425 today, so that means we will have to update a new support, and it kind of looks like it reached that today because my support is at actually not quite all the way, but so that could be maybe a nice scalp tomorrow if the doesn't get there after hours. So our support is now $417.75. So watch out for that on Microsoft. That's what I'll be looking out for. And I'm actually going to move my resistance down to here to $434. So that is my new resistance on Microsoft. I'll just be watching out for these two levels to see how price reacts. If we break this level on Microsoft, we could be heading down to 412 possibly, which we could scalp that as well. So 434 resistance, 417.75 support on Microsoft. And we go to Google. Google also breaking our support at $171. Let's actually go to the 1 minute chart to see how that happened. So you see we came down, price broke our support, boom, went right back up, and then started using it again. And you see how price really started booming down once that support broke. Support broke right here, and you see how it was using that support after hours. Boom, boom, boom. So if we entered right here for puts, we would have put it down all the way to here on this green candle. It probably would have been a nice 10 to 20% gain actually, which would have been really nice, even maybe even more. But that's how I use my support on Google. So you go back over. We're gonna have to change this support now. Support now is around $163.70. So just watch that on Google. $163.70 will be my new support. We might be able to come down there and hit it because they just had earnings and it dropped it down, and they continue to drop. So even after hours, they're continuing to drop even more. So I'm just gonna watch this support here. We might be able to get a play and on Google because of that. And if we drop down this resistance, I do have a new resistance at 171. So 171 is my new resistance on Google. Make sure you have these levels. It'll help you out for a lot for scalping in the mornings. Meta also breaking my support here. So we're going to have to bring down the support. It actually hit its new support and then went back up. So this new support is working at 445. So very crucial you have this level on your chart too at 445. And then our resistance level now is around 479. So 479 is our new resistance level, and I'll keep that on there as well just in case we come back up. They do have earnings. We are getting into earnings seasons, which is very important on July 31st. So just watch these stocks. We're gonna see what they want to do and how is it gonna move the market when these earnings start coming around. So a lot of these big names are gonna start having earnings very soon. So there's the levels on Meta. We'll go to Nvda, and Nvda kind of holding. It actually reached that new support at 106.90. So kind of holding our support, but because this did break, I actually am gonna move this support to where the support held today, which is 106.80. So 106.80 is our support on Nvidia. We're just gonna want to see how price reacts to that support, and if it's gonna want to break it, or if it's gonna continue to hold like it did today. And I'm gonna keep resistance actually right here at 122 until we either break this support and find new resistance, or we just keep this one right here, right? So support and resistance is working fine. They do have another resistance kind of around 115.60, but I'm just gonna keep the 122 level right there. Tesla, nothing you could really do on Tesla right now. They did hit our resistance at 120 at 120.26 or 226 perfectly. You see that we opened up, we went right to our resistance. We didn't want to break it. Just kind of stalled out there and came down where we opened up for the rest of the day. So Tesla resistance 226 and support of 207 are working great. I'm actually going to put a white line here because this is going to give us a sense of exactly where we want to go. If this white line breaks down then we'll be heading to 207 for sure. If this resistance breaks up, then we could be heading all the way to 233. So these two levels, 226 and 214.30, very crucial levels. We're going to want to see what happens in the next tomorrow or the next few days to see which way Tesla exactly wants to go, especially because they just had earnings and they dumped off that. We'll go to Amazon. Amazon hitting our support down here that we had at 176.45 perfectly, and then bringing us back up to our support of 179.35, and we still have resistance here at 188.50, and they have earnings on August 1st, so also we're just going to want to watch out for that. We could get another put in maybe possibly tomorrow on Amazon if it wants to come back down to this 176.45, but these are the two support and resistances I have on Amazon. We'll go to Netflix. Also holding our support kind of. We dipped below that in the morning, but they came right back up. So 628, I'm going to keep that there, and the 650 level actually hit perfectly today. We go back up, see how it went down. Kind of like actually did hold our support because it didn't break it thoroughly, and then went right back up, hit our resistance, and then came back down. So that's what happened there on Netflix. Very crucial that you have these two levels, and if we keep breaking this level here on Netflix, I do have another support of 604 on Netflix, so just watch out for that. AMD, we did play AMD this morning. I believe it was on the downside, so yes, it was on the downside, but we played it to this support here. So we came down, we reached that support, we went back up, and we started confirming back down. So we hopped in puts around like right here, then we sold them right at our support level right there. And then you see when we sold them, it went back up and then reached that support again. So perfectly, we didn't have to hold any longer. We did what we did. We got what we wanted to get, and we were done. So I'm actually gonna have to move support now on AMD, and I'm actually gonna move it to 130 or 133. So 133 support on AMD. Very crucial that you have this on your chart right now. It could come and hit this before its earnings on July 30th. So like I said, we're having a lot of earnings coming around right around the corners, but my resistance is still at 156.70 on AMD. Intel kind of holding our support almost at 31.28. I'm gonna just leave that there until we either keep confirming down or we might find support tomorrow and actually have an up day. So I'm just going to keep these two levels there. Make sure you have those chart on. Intel, Disney, breaking support of $90. So I'm going to move it down to 88.80. So 88.80 is our support on Disney. Just going to want to watch that there. Earnings on August 7th. So that's what I see on Disney. Dell also breaking our support, pretty much opening up and then breaking it. So I do have support on Dell now at 109.40. 109.40 is our support on Dell. Very crucial that you have this on your chart. We have this buy level down here in case Dell gets down here. It could be a nice buying level to either get like a nice swing back up to the upside or start a long-term position here on Dell. But 109.40 is our support, and I'll keep this resistance here at 130. So have all these three levels on your chart there for Dell. PANW kind of holding our support at 321. We still have resistance at 338, and then I'm actually going to just take off this resistance of 343. You don't want to have your chart too cluttered at all. It brings in a lot more just uncertain, or like clutters your chart. So I'm actually going to add a new support here as well in case we break this even more tomorrow. That's going to be a 312 support. So 312 support as well on PANW, just in case we keep going on the downside. I want to have that there. 312 support and 321 support. We'll go to Walmart. Walmart actually finally coming back down, so we might actually be able to put Walmart down to this level of $69. The thing about Walmart is they're not like moving with huge amounts of volume. They're just kind of like going up and then down and up. Not really like big percents of volume. Like this was minus 82%, and it was kind of like a big candle today compared to what it's had recently, right? So that's what I see on Walmart. Just have that $69 level. Coinbase also breaking its support today of $243. So we're gonna have to see where Coinbase actually found its support right here. at 226, so 226.30 is where Coinbase found its support, and it seems that after hours it's heading up. Just gonna want to see how Bitcoin reacts and things like that, and if it's gonna want to bounce right back up before its earnings. So that's what they see on Coinbase. I'm gonna keep that resistance there at 270. That level might not matter after earnings comes out, so just gonna have to want to wait there on Coinbase. And SMCI keeping our resistance at 649. You see how it dipped below it, but it went right back up to it. That's a good sign for SMCI. If they do break this, we could start heading very far down, probably to around 567 if we keep breaking these levels. But it's good that this level right here of 649 is holding, and I still have resistance at 845 on Coinbase. And I'm actually just going to leave the video there. I want you all to focus on these main option plays. These main option plays that I'm scalping in the morning. Watch my trade recaps, how I'm finding these plays, the supports and resistances that are happening pre-market, after-market, on the daily chart, all of the above. It's going to help you a lot predicting where the market is going in the future, whether you're bearish or bullish long-term, you're bearish or bullish short-term, all of the above. Everything you need to know. So leave a like, comment, follow my Instagram, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks.